Hello, Arrow fans. We're doing another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV Arrow After Show. We are looking at Season 5, Episode 7, Vigilante. We'll see you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, yeah!
I feel like we didn't actually need the music, and we should have just had Tauri do it a cappella. Because obviously you've got this down. Hello, Arrow fans. Welcome back to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV Arrow After Show. We are looking at Season 5, Episode 7, Vigilante. I keep having trouble believing that we're in Season 5. Holy cow. Of course, with me, I have our wonderful panel tonight. We have Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, I'm Lacretia Lyon, so you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Tauri Miller.
Hi, I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, TAURIJAY.
Lex Michael.
Hi, I'm Lex Michael, all over social media at the Lex Michael.
And I am Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet, that is KIAXET. Alicona will be back last week of November, I believe. She is still doing her solo mission. She will return. And for those of you going last week in November, what? Arrow doesn't have an episode next week, so we get a bye week. Happy American Thanksgiving. Yeah, we have the hashtag ABTV Arrow. We have the live chat. Lacretia's keeping an eye on that. If you have something fun to say, if you have commentary, if you have a new hashtag that you think we should adopt, if you have a meme you want us to see, if you have a cover of the Arrow theme that you've decided to sing and record, because I guess now that's a thing.
Yes.
Throw in the hashtag, throw in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. What did we think of this episode tonight? Dead silence. That's a good way to start.
Okay,
I
all
like
right.
Vigilante.
Yeah.
I really like that guy. He's cool, you know.
Yeah.
He's a crazy mofo, but
I mean,
Go ahead.
after you, madam.
I feel like the character moments for this episode were, for the most part, really on. Like, I loved the bits with Diggle and Renee. They were wonderful. I love the bits with Lance and Thea. Those were absolutely incredible. And Susan and Oliver were fun to watch. The overarching story felt like it was like 15 degrees to the left.
That's exactly what I thought as I was watching it. There's a lot of stuff that I think is really, really great, and there's nothing that I thought failed in any sense.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of it was just a little weirder than I think I'm used to. And little things within a scene, stuff like, you should call your boss. And then Oliver's just like, they don't have to. I was in that dark cubby the whole time. Hello.
Yeah, that's how you make an
It's
entrance,
me.
guys.
I was wondering if after all... Yeah.
he just has to make an entrance.
So stuff like that, it was a little bit like, I don't know if this is being played for laughs, but I want to laugh, and I'm liking it on that level, but I'm not really sure what the intent of that specific moment was, and there were, for me, a few of those.
Right. Well, I think kind of combining everything everyone has said, it felt odd because there were two different tones. There was the really, genuine down-to-earth moments between the characters, but then everything that was Vigilante related was very comic booky.
Yes.
And so
That's
it's
true.
like these two elements just smashed together from one to the next. Makes it really hard to kind of get a grip on how you feel in that one moment.
That's true. Usually Arrow is really good at the blend from the two different tones, and today was just like smash cut, now we're doing this.
Yeah, because the flashbacks were great too, but they
Oh my
really
God,
didn't
yes.
seem to meld with the story at all, which they normally do.
I feel like
Yeah.
our overarching bit with the flashbacks that worked is truth is relative.
Yes.
Truth is the eye of the beholder.
There was a moment, though, early on when Lacretia had the same feeling about the flashbacks that you just described. But I'm not really sure how this ties in. And then I immediately had a second thought, which is, you know what? If for the rest of the season, every time we cut back to Russia, it's just Dolph Lundgren eating dinner and pontificating on just whatever he can think of, I'm good with it.
So let's talk about the flashbacks then. Let's just settle ourselves firmly in there.
Yeah, I really love Flashback Oliver, and I think I always have a little bit more than Green Arrow Oliver. It's really funny. I think it's the hair, but
Is it?
Yeah, especially this episode. I was like, I kind of like this guy. He was like a badass, like grabbing the knife, putting it to his throat with all these people around him. That guy's pretty cool.
I feel like, in my opinion, the fight that we had between Kovar and Oliver in the flashback is the best fight choreography this episode. It
Yes.
was painful to watch. There were a lot of heavy hits, and it was very obvious that, like, oh yeah, Oliver is already down. He's been tortured for a week. He is at a severe disadvantage, but it was brutal to watch.
The whole
And
fight.
it was fascinating.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat going, this is how Apollo Creed died, you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot more visceral is the word that
Yes.
keeps coming to mind. Because a lot of the fights, especially in Arrow, because we're used to seeing martial artists fighting one another because, everyone's been trained in some form of something.
Yeah.
But this is mid-Oliver training, and you assume that Kovar has been, beating up fools for a long time. So, like, it really wasn't like a stylized thing. It was just a dude getting wrecked.
Yeah, just a solid beatdown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You missed church clanging his brass knuckles together and then going to beat someone up. We got that this episode without the brass knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully in a universe where there's dimension hopping and time hopping, maybe my dreams of seeing the two of them clang knuckles and go at it together will one day come to fruition.
Or against each other.
Or against each other. With each I want them, you know what it is? I want them to fight each other and then team up and fight everybody.
Ah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Church and Kovar versus the world.
I'd
Yes.
like to imagine Kovar, instead of brass knuckles, has a knife and fork. He's just like, ding!
I am hungry for vengeance.
And then it's like they both remember their prior experiences from other points in the timeline because that's how this all works.
Of course.
And like they have dinner together and Kovar can be like, your mistake was telling him name. That's not how leverage work.
I think you need to do the rest of the episode in that accent.
Only when we talk about the flashbacks. That's when you have carte blanche.
Carpet. Yeah, but anyway, so seriously though, I am having so much fun watching Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
the best.
I'm not even that concerned that I didn't sense such a strong connection between the flashbacks and the present day story this episode because I'm having a really good time watching Dolph Lundgren have fun.
Yeah, that's what I say, is all the elements of this were really good. They just didn't really go together. It's sort of like Supergirl on Monday. Nothing really went together, but it was all good. So you're like, yeah.
I've made meals like that before. These are all really great. Why did I put them in the same bowl?
Yeah, peanut sauce on falafel just doesn't work. They're both excellent apart, but...
My dad does this milkshake. It's mint chocolate chip ice cream, milk, chocolate syrup, and orange soda. And you kind of hit the last one and go, why?
Kill loves orange soda.
Is it true?
Yeah, no, that's kind of what this episode was. It was really great, and then we put the orange soda in, and then the whole thing was just kind of, okay?
Hashtag Kellis Prometheus.
You know, one, I would go for it, and two, I'm still mixing up Prometheus and alchemy.
They're the same person.
I
They're
am.
both
I
Katie
saw him on
Cassidy.
the screen,
Yes.
and I'm like, hey, it's alchemy. No, it's not. What's his name?
They are though. I like that. They're both Black Siren secretly.
Yep, exactly. And
For
she's
sure.
going to join the Legion of Doom, too. She's going to be all over the Arrowverse.
It's going to be the
Yes.
Black Siren verse pretty soon.
You know what? I'd be down for that. And what
Although-
we see is that Artemis is working with him. That's our stinger. And that also felt really disjointed to me, like right at the end. By the way, I'm secretly evil, and no one suspects a thing.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I hope in the next episode that we're going to get in 2 weeks is the crossover. So
crossover.
if not there, then in the mid-season finale, certainly, I'm hoping that we get some of this information backfilled for us because I'm not opposed to this as a twist. I agree. This doesn't seem like it was set up at all.
Yeah, to
No.
me, I feel like maybe it's a new thing that they went after her because she was the least utilized member of the team. And two, she's a teenage girl that they set up to be, as bait in a slutty outfit with this teenage girl. I would probably join the dark side too. but
Honestly, I was looking at that going, she came up with that plan. Everyone else is like, we're going to take him out, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And she's like, Nah, not how this works.
Yep, you just put on a dress and they'll just follow you. But the chat, Lydia loves Lex's Kovar voice. She says it is life. And Vidar DJ, 16 star kill. Got it again. LOL, I love you. I guess it's me for making a Keenan and Kel reference. Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
And Emily Y on Twitter says, I've always wanted to join the live chat, and I'm loving it. Hashtag hi from Taiwan.
Nice.
awesome.
Evidently, it is her
Taiwan.
first time watching it live due to the time difference. Hi, we love you. After we're done, please get some sleep.
Yeah, for real.
I assume it's like awful o'clock over there. I would like you to actually get some rest.
I think it's just super early.
Yeah.
She's waking up with us, guys.
I'm so sorry.
Yay.
This is not the first thing you want to see in the morning.
But
Is it not? Yeah, just Artemis working with Prometheus. I guess our little bit of setup was last week going, I'm having trouble trusting Oliver. I still blamed you for the death of my parents, this
Yeah.
and that and the other. Like, I guess that's our basis and our motivation. But it's
Okay.
also just kind of like, we don't know what to do with her.
And that's why I was like, I certainly felt more strongly about my, Katie Cassidy, whoever they're going to use, which, Earth, Laurel, or whatever. That made me think it was just a little bit more true using Artemis, because that's who she wanted to be, was the Black Canary. And that's who she would trust, because she saw her as a hero. She didn't always see Oliver as a hero. And a lot of the chat saying the same thing. With her opinion on Oliver, it's kind of easy to see her changing.
It does. It actually,
True.
when you put it that way, it does make sense. And I do suspect, even given only that one example of a little bit of setup last episode, I suspect that there's a good chance if we go back and rewatched episodes from the season, now knowing this is what we were moving towards, we might pick up little bits, if not behavior, then little lines of dialogue here or there that might clue us into the fact that something like this was possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you could even take it a bit from this episode specifically, where every time they would talk about Vigilante, she was very much about not being discerning, not being discerning between what makes a vigilante and a monster. And, like, you could imagine that she sees all vigilantes, herself aside, as just people who are broken. But, like, specifically Oliver, I forgot what my point was. Specifically Oliver.
That's okay. Keep going.
Like, she definitely sees him as, like, a threatening person. So I could see her trying to keep him as close as possible. Also, if my theory last week of Prometheus being
Too many people with masks and voice
Yeah.
changers.
Yes.
Why?
if my theory about him being him or her being a mind controller, then that would kind of lean more towards her joining his side.
That's possible.
I could see that. And a lot of people are saying in the chat that Artemis was evil in the comics. And I know you probably know more than me, but as far as I know, she was sort of like the Mary Magdalene, I guess is the best example I can say. Because she was a prostitute in most of the canon that I know that was from a family of criminals, but came to the good side because Oliver brought her in, And I'm like, am I remembering that correctly?
Well, and
Yeah.
they potentially could invert that by having
Yeah.
Oliver bring her in as a force for good, and then have her turn to the dark side. Certainly, I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Well, and my familiarity with her is from Young Justice, which
Yeah.
got renewed finally, season 3.
Good stuff.
Hooray!
But yeah, in Young Justice, she is Cheshire's sister and Sportsmaster's kid.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of trying to get that figured out as well. So this isn't the first time we've seen Artemis and gone, what's your allegiance? Who are you with? What's going on here? But I am uncertain about all of this.
Because if
Generally
she's
speaking.
if she's so successfully a double agent, she could potentially be a triple agent as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She could also be a quadruple agent for the Bratva. She could
yeah?
also be
If you
working.
know that, I know that you know that, I know that, I
With
know
the
that, you know that, you
Legion
know
of
that, I know.
Doom.
She could also be Jared Garrett.
She
Let's
could
do
work
one.
Agent.
Argus
She
and
could be Jake Garrett.
A
God
literary agent. Potentially.
I work for the newspaper.
Music agent.
I'm actually an undercover reporter. I've never been a vigilante, and I wanted to write a piece on it.
Is this a romantic comedy?
How to lose an arrow in 10 days.
Make that, guys.
But so point being,
Please,
I'm
oh
not.
God.
Yeah. So point being, I have no idea. So this is one where I feel like my only recourse here is to sit back a little bit and see how it plays out.
Just eat some popcorn.
Yum, yum.
I will say that one of my favorite bits from this episode, I wrote down so much dialogue because I adore it, is Oliver talking with his team about Vigilante and saying, oh, well, you know, maybe Vigilante has the right idea. And him going, excuse me, last week you lost it when you found out that the Hood was playing judge, jury, and executioner. You cannot have it both ways. I'm like, thank you! Thank you. That is a plot. That is a logical hole that would go overlooked in a lot of shows, and I'm really glad that they are just like, "Excuse me, WTF are you doing?"
I know. I actually kind of liked Oliver in this episode, and
Yep.
normally I give him a lot of crap, except Flashback Oliver. But yeah, he was actually the smart one. Yeah.
He was pretty dang on point in this episode.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
It's true, up until the point where he decided that maybe Vigilante was right, and he's being a little soft.
Well, it's easy to look at someone who is getting immediate, if screwed up results, and then look at your system, which is a lot slower. It's a tortoise and a hare sort of thing.
Right.
And you're watching this guy win the race by murdering people and going, what I am doing isn't working yet. And these awful things are happening in the interim. What if what I'm doing isn't working at all? I don't have results yet, so I don't know what's happening. So I can see that. I can understand that doubt. I think that's something that a lot of us do. It's the seeing someone else's highlight reel and knowing your own behind the scenes. How are my friends successful this and that and the other already? We're the same age. Or how is this person successful? They're 3 years younger than me and I'm still doing whatever.
Right.
You don't know what happened.
Well,
and you are still working on your own long-term things. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping because every angle that Oliver seems to be bouncing back and forth between on this big moral question, I get the argument for all of these angles, but it's frustrating to me that he keeps going back and forth, and it's doubly frustrating because he's supposed to be leading this team. What I do really appreciate is that, yes, his team is actually calling him out on the fact it's like, bro, dude, you gotta pick one. Like, even if it's the one we don't like, just pick one, stick with it, and we can work from there. My hope is that as we continue with this team, they don't stop doing that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of picking one, with our lovable sponsor, you don't have to pick one. BeautyCon Box is a subscription box that is delivered to your door each season. Each box is curated by your favorite beauty gurus. That's a lot to say, but it's over $150 worth of
So
product
worth
for
it.
just $30. You get a lot of stuff. You don't have to just pick one. And you save $20 if you sign up for the annual payment plan. With the annual payment plan, you can pay as you go the total cost of the entire year of boxes. With the seasonal payment plan, you pay each month for the box and shipping costs. Check out beautycon.com/box. Actually, that's beautycon.com/box to sign up for your subscription. Use the code BOXBUZZ, that's BOXBUZZ, for 20% off your subscription. It includes cool products like Ofra Liquid Lipstick. I know there's some NYX products in there, guys. Flutter Lash, I Slay Lashes. Like, seriously, we slay on Arrow, right?
Well,
I think
and
Oliver
I'm-
uses those.
I'm wearing NYX tonight. I absolutely love NYX, and it's in the box.
It's in the box.
What's in the box? All of this good stuff. That's what's in the box.
There are no heads in the box,
There are
guys.
no heads in the
It is
box.
makeup and beauty products.
There's just stuff to go
Yeah.
on your head to make it look wonderful.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a reference I absolutely should not have gone with, but here we are.
And then I just went with it, and I was like, wait, no, there's happy stuff in the box.
There's happy stuff in the box.
Yeah.
This is the exact
It's
opposite.
good stuff. It's a good deal.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Beautycon.com/box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are sponsored tonight, you guys. These are the wonderful people who help to keep us on the air. So if you are interested in the makeups and in making yourself look pretty, go there, subscribe, do the thing. It'll be awesome. And, if you do it and you like your look, throw it in the hashtag. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny comments in the chat, Lydia Sobreros, who's always hilarious, said, the writers are watching season 2 of Daredevil while drunk. And I just thought that was funny.
I did have that. Yeah. I did have that thought at a certain point with the long discussions about the moral complexities of being a vigilante. I was having really aggressive Daredevil Punisher flashbacks.
But
Yeah.
that's not out of place here, especially since we started the season with Oliver going back to killing because it's what worked.
Right.
I can't fault him for being unsure of his methods when the stuff he tried to leave behind is what seems to be working, and his long-term lawful good, work with the justice system, work with the police, etc., isn't working yet. Like, I get it. I can't blame him for it.
Right. I do understand his point of view. Again, my only issue with him comes when he can't commit to doing one versus the other.
I'd
Right.
say that he has at this point. That he's picked his side, especially when faced with, well, the bullets don't work, so I'll just use a rocket launcher on a motel. Collateral
Yeah.
damage! Honey,
Anytime-
if we want to talk damage, it's you.
We do get to see that sweet, in that same scene, that sweet bulletproof.
The bulletproof canvas arrow.
The trick arrows
I love
are just
the
amazing.
trick arrows so much.
But anytime anyone brings a rocket launcher, I do just smile.
It should, yeah, no, the rocket launcher is always kind of ridiculous, and it's like, logistics. But I love-
think it was technically an RPG.
I didn't see any Final Fantasy up in there. I know exactly what you were talking about, and I went there anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I love that we have embraced the trick arrows. And I love that we showed Vigilante as kind of crazy pants. Like, on one hand, he's got a point, and on the other hand,
Yes, crazy, but I also really appreciate that he's depicted as being incredibly efficient. It's not enough that Oliver keeps talking about, wow, he's actually getting the job done. We see the way in which he gets the job done, and he's very good at being a crazy multiple murderer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, he's even able to know, yes, I get that they're trainees, but notice how easily he gets the drop on that van, for example. Mm-hmm. I like that they did the Batman thing, where he's got the foresight to wire his mask, so if anyone tries to pull it off, they'll get zapped.
Yeah.
I can't get over the smoke bomb mask and then just so easily getting out of the bolo and getting away in half a second. Like,
It is so comic booky. That sequence has, I think, all of my favorite stuff in this episode.
smoke bombs.
Well, that with the smoke bomb thing, the mask, booby trap, Ragman flicking all the bullets away, like
Yes.
that's awesome.
I'm not here for you. Then quit trying to kill us.
That I'm also a really big fan of. If you're not with me, then you're against me. Then I'm against you. I just said that. You just said that. Stop doing that. You stop doing that.
They should have kept that going.
Those are my lines.
Yeah, I love Ragman, by the way. I think he's the best addition, especially because I'm still rooting for Ragtastic. And now Echo knows our name, guys. Isn't that too? Hopefully he'll use that hashtag later. But
I can't say I'm in for that just because he's in a committed relationship.
But
like,
that
I
guy
don't
could
wanna-
die.
Wow!
Leave him. And he's
Yeah.
like, where is Curtis? So, you know, you could leave him. You know, that's
Dude,
how these relationships.
Threesome.
Let's just get it dirty.
It's
in there.
2016.
Yeah.
That is the solution to your love
Cheers,
triangle
dog.
problems.
Well, man,
Have
I'm
a
willing to kill
threesome.
him or have him leave him, but you're like threesome. Yeah, you know, that is
That's
the positive
solution
attitude.
to your love
No.
triangle problem.
You know what they say? Ragman is magic.
Twilight would have been so much easier if they just
know,
had a
I love
freaking
Magic
threesome
Men.
and gotten it over with.
You know, well, if we're gonna have
Red foot with my
threesomes with
rags.
magic men, you know who I'd pick? Malcolm, John Constantine, and Ragman.
I don't think you'd survive.
Those are all the magic.
Yeah,
Just
you would.
because having Malcolm in there, like that is the
Worth it.
So many
Okay,
awful,
yeah,
awful
all
things
right.
in
So
my head.
worth it.
Lydia in the
Okay,
chat had a
guys,
funny
what's your-
comment about when Mr. Terrific was waiting there, you know, being held at gunpoint, and then Oliver hops up from under the table, and she said, I was beat up for an entrance bit. So, and
Also worth
what
it.
I want to see in the hashtag is your guys' threesomes on this show.
Oh dear.
Oh,
wow.
no.
Oh dear.
Keep it to the show.
It's a family
and
program.
keep it
Katie.
not is it really?
keep in mind some of
Also, it's Twitter.
Emily
Mine's Ed, Ed, and
Tito's.
Eddie.
Just give me 3 names. Throw in the
Mine,
hashtag.
mine is Ragman, and Ragman.
Hey!
Just a lot of.
He's got all those
I
tentacles. He
believe
can
we
do
call
it.
that
That's true.
versatility.
Yeah. Emily Tida in the chat says the Lex fangirling begins again. LOL, love it.
Does it ever
You're not
stop?
wrong. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
The hype train has no brakes.
Science one day hopes to answer these and many other related questions, but for now we can only look to the stars.
Okay, well, we're running a little short of time on. We've spent a good amount of time talking about how just completely flip-all insane Vigilante is. Is there anything else we want to cover from horrifying hockey mask dude, or should we hit the other, 3 points that we need to talk about?
I have one thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yes?
based on comic book knowledge, we are to assume that the DA is
Adrian Chase, yes.
Vigilante. I mean, they're and I don't know if that's technically a spoiler because they haven't really revealed that yet.
Right.
But if you Google it,
Yeah, if you Google
Yeah.
Arrow, it's like
I
all of
know.
the news bits are like, we're bringing Adrian Chase, the Vigilante, to Arrow this season.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the worst kept secret.
So, is there anything in what we've seen of him so far that would lead us to have him jump from being like, I'm a DA working within the system, to being like, I'm gonna murder the crap out of people?
Well, he does indicate that he lost someone, so I'm guessing that, he's been on the edge for a while. He's Harvey Dented it up.
I will say that I laughed like crazy. Like, you've never lost anyone.
I've lost
The last
everyone.
4 seasons. Anyway.
But that moment actually weirdly that did work for me. And there was a lot of weird tonal shifts in that scene, and I think that was among them. But that actually worked for me because obviously Vigilante unless Vigilante knows that Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow, has been the Green Arrow this entire time, and has been orchestrating these events himself, and has been surrounded by the people he's been surrounded with, he wouldn't know. He would just make these assumptions. And so to make that assumption, throw it in Oliver's face, and then to see Oliver have to well, actually, you know what I mean? I liked that. That worked for me.
Yeah, especially with the knowledge from last week that people think that the Hood and the Arrow and Green Arrow are different people. So as far as he knows, the Green Arrow has only been around for a few months.
Yeah, and also
is true.
too, even if you don't know that Adrian Chase is the Vigilante in the comics, there are moments where, if you're reading between the lines, they're winking at you a little bit. Like tonight, there was that moment where
the long look.
well, and where he shares with Chase, he shares the location, right? And he's like, we need to get there quick. I'm sure the Vigilante doesn't wait for warrants. And Adrian Chase is like, no, I'm sure he doesn't. Wait, Oliver, come back. I'm the Vigilante.
Well, and what I find, you were talking about what could have driven him to this. The exact same thing that's making Oliver doubt himself. He is the DA in a system that is horrifyingly corrupt, in a city that has gone to the dogs over the past 4 years. He's doing his absolute best in his job, and people still go free, and people still go on the streets, and crime is still horrific, and the city is still just kind of a horrifying place to be. And that is the point where you hit the wall and go, what am I doing? So he hit that wall and went, you know what? What I'm doing isn't working. I'm not seeing any results. Screw it. Time to take the law into my own hands, as opposed to Oliver, who is hitting the wall and making the choice to go, okay, maybe I shouldn't go back to murder. That's been a problem.
The first step is admitting maybe you shouldn't go back to murder.
Murder!
Yeah.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
It's at VA Vigilantes Anonymous.
Oh,
Speaking of, we should talk about Lance.
Yes, we
Yeah.
This poor man.
It's like,
Does
speaking
Lance-
of being addicted to things.
Lance has the worst life on any of these shows. Yes, do we agree?
He's
Out of
so
anybody.
sad, I think he's sexy. Oh wait, that was a conversation.
But I was watching so much of the Lance Thea stuff tonight. I'm actually genuinely enjoying their relationship,
Oh,
and I love that for all intents and purposes, he is family to them. And in the absence of both of his daughters, one is now deceased, the other one is flying through time on a time ship. I like that Thea is there to essentially fill that role. But also, as I'm watching all of these scenes, I keep thinking, okay, I totally get why Sarah's not there. They're on a mission through time to save all of reality. I really hope that when that mission's done, she uses the giant time machine they're flying around in to go back and spend a little time with her dad after her sister dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we're going to get a little bit of that during the crossover at the end of the month.
Yeah,
Because it's there, and they have definitely taken time out during crossovers to talk about personal stuff. See Oliver's Child last season.
that's right.
So, yeah, no.
I keep forgetting
they
that there's a
do
kid
the-
out there.
Yeah, no, they do the thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case.
Well, some people
What
want
I-
Thea and Lance to do the thing, and that's
No,
just weird
that's
to me. I'm
weird.
like, and they have
No,
offered
honey.
several answers to your three-way question.
No.
Are they all that frightening?
Hey, put them in the hashtag on Twitter. I want to keep it forever.
Hashtag Merlin Constantine me.
Oh, yeah, I know. Alicia Perez put Oliver, Human Target, and Constantine. Hey, because the
All right.
human target can be whoever. I like that. What
Except
I
for
really
women.
liked, going back to Lance and Thea, talking about rehab
Yes.
and approaching rehab as though it is a necessary and good thing. Because usually it's like, oh, they're in rehab. Oh, they've hit rock bottom. Oh, it's terrible. But it's like, no, this is something that he very much needs. And it's approached in that way. It's not like, well, this is your last resort. It's, this is the best thing for you right now. This will help you.
Yes.
And it's good to see that addressed in that fashion on the show, because usually, oh, they're in rehab has a horrible connotation.
For sure. And it's great to see Quentin have somebody that will be an advocate for him in that way, because when you get to that low a point, very frequently you either don't see at all that there's a way out of it, or maybe you see that there is a way out of it, but you don't think that you're worth it, or you don't think that you can do it. So
He
sometimes
absolutely said that he was not worth it.
Exactly. So to have somebody in your corner in a situation like that tells you, like, I can't do it for you, but you're worth it, and I will be here with you through this thing, like, that's incredibly important. And it was a big, just to me as an audience member, it was a really big relief to see him have that.
Yes.
And I love that it's Thea, because she has also struggled with like drugs and alcoholism
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. So like there is that, and you forget about it because she's been Speedy so long, and there's been so many other things happening in her life. She died, guys.
Yep.
But like then you remember that like she's been where he is, and so like they have that other layer of or not communication but connection.
Yes.
Yeah, and Lydia pointed out Lance needs a hug. I should get on it. But to me, yeah, the Thea and Lance stuff, I don't see anything romantic. I see this as two people who, her father is off, gonna be Legion of Dooming it in Legends of Tomorrow. His daughter is off fighting him on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the other one is dead. So who does, they've turned to each other in a familial way, and that they have always known each other. So it's, to me, it is definitely just sort of a surrogate father-daughter relationship. And like you say, they both have had problems with addiction in the past. So Thea knows exactly what he needs. He needs
yeah.
a break.
Well, it's interesting, all the connections that you point out, because it's hard for me to say without talking directly to one of the writers or the producers if they always had something like this in mind. But if they didn't, it's certainly great that it worked out in such a way where these two characters, wildly different experiences, still do have that much in common and can effectively lean on each other a little bit.
I love the development that they've had for this. It has worked extremely well, and I think this was some of my favorite moments in this episode. Is just this conversation and talking about rehab and the support. And also Lance acknowledging, yeah, no, there's no way in heck that I am actually Prometheus. I know he's just screwing with me. Like, thank you!
Yes.
Thank you! Thank you for laying that out.
Yeah, because
God
Lance
bless.
may have blacked out, but he's a smart guy. He knows what he's been doing, and he's like, yeah, he's clearly framing me. And Ruthless Lieutenant point out, she literally called him family. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like surrogate relationships. It's cute. Like, because, sometimes your family isn't there.
This is true.
Blood doesn't matter.
This is
Unless
true. It's not
you're
medically
shot.
true, but it's emotionally true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're all just sitting here
Yeah.
like, okay, we're all having feelings.
Emotions.
Feelings. You know how I feel about
Flood.
the feelings.
Speaking of feelings, Diggle and Renee.
I loved this.
Yes. Just Diggle, for one, flying off the handle because he's stressed out and his kid's birthday was today and he couldn't go because there's federal marshals watching his house because he's kind of a fugitive.
Aw.
He's extremely a fugitive.
And this is exactly why John Diggle Jr. becomes the Green Arrow later, I'm guessing, because his dad missed his second birthday.
But they bring the party to
Yeah.
him, which is really nice. And the little John Jr. is so adorable.
He's
he
sweaty.
and he wants some cake.
And the fact that Renee went out of his way to be like, I am going to do a nice thing for you because you need this support. That is fantastic. And I love that they're taking Renee, who, we introduced him as Wild Dog. He's the street thug. He's the Casey Jones of the gang. He's the, and it's like, no, this guy has a heart and gives so many dams.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
I
I
said
think.
the character moments were really, really good in this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that last scene where we see Diggle like realizing, you did this thing for me. You didn't have to do that, and you did. Like that scene, I think worked the best for me out of every scene in this episode. Certainly on an emotional level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss Sarah.
Me too. Sarah's actually my favorite female in the Arrowverse, her and Felicity.
I will say I miss
The
Laurel
baby.
as
I
well.
know.
As much as everyone
The
was
baby Sarah.
losing their minds over it, I do miss Laurel.
But like everybody's still around in some form. It's just they're all on other shows.
I miss the baby
Sarah.
Sarah.
Oh, the baby
Yeah, and I was like,
You guys
you
just
meant
got
the baby.
flashpointed.
Yeah.
You're like,
We
who
just-
the F is Sarah?
Yeah, we're like, who is Sarah Diggle? This person? Yeah.
But I like
The
that.
F is Alice.
I like that John
lost
Jr.
this
is
story.
also known as JJ.
JJ.
I think that's super cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
All right.
Where does he get Connor Hawk from?
We are
Cereal
because
box.
JJ is not an intimidating superhero name.
No.
We have one more point to hit, and we are running short on time. Susan and Oliver.
I like this stuff too. I was not expecting to like this stuff when they started introducing it in this episode. I was expecting to roll my eyes a whole bunch, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Just you need a drink and you need a friend more than you need the drink.
Yeah. So, but here's my question for all of you: Do you think any of this is earnest on her part?
Oh no, she is all just. I'm pretty sure she's either evil or trying to sleep with him or both. Whatever it is like she's seducing him because that's what you do.
I'd like to see it start as manipulative and then become genuine and then have that moment with her where she has to make that choice.
Sure.
Like every like romantic comedy ever.
Just silence.
Like every romantic comedy ever.
Romantic
really is the
comedies
plot
are
of all of them.
terrible, you guys.
How to lose an arrow in
Everyone's-
10 days.
Everyone's
Yes,
a
I would watch that.
psychopath.
Yeah.
Everyone in romantic comedies is a psychopath. Our one recourse is that they pair up with each other and leave the sane people alone.
That's true. Actually, if you go back and rewatch You've Got Mail, a lot of things Tom Hanks does is borderline deplorable.
Oh yes, of course.
But anyway,
I hate You've Got
yeah.
Mail with a passion.
Or anything Matthew McConaughey plays, but you're just like,
All right.
but so I for one, I don't believe that her intentions are entirely honorable. But I agree. I would like to see her have to make that decision at some point. But I also see if Oliver can wise up a little bit, maybe, and key himself into the fact that maybe she's not being totally honest with him. As mayor, it wouldn't hurt to have a relationship with some member of the press that isn't entirely antagonistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is an advantage professionally for both of them. That I buy completely.
Yeah.
We'll see how the rest of it shakes out.
I would like it if she wasn't like manipulative in any way. Like I want there to be a relationship where it's just a relationship where two people are supporting each other and having a good time and just really enjoying life.
that's fantastic.
Tari, this is a CW show.
Yeah.
I know, but like it's just what I want. I also like that. I like the idea of him dating a reporter because I like the idea of him being like, Barry's got himself a reporter girlfriend. I can do that too. That makes me laugh. But anyways, I digress.
Because
I
he's
don't
just
know,
so
I just-
jealous of Barry in one way.
I worry that if we wound up with a good supportive relationship like that she'd wind up in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially, literally.
Yeah, good people
And I'm
always
so
die.
tired of that.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
that either. I just want a genuine, like, I want what Curtis has, but for everyone.
Yes. But failing that, I want what like Mick and Snart had, but for everybody.
But
They were
even
the
then,
best relationship.
spoilers, ended up in the fridge.
Yeah, but then
Captain Cold in the fridge.
But then because of time, space, something or other, he's gonna be out of the fridge and on every place.
That's what happens when you start with a 10-episode order and then you get 3 more that you don't know what to do with.
I was in the fridge. Now I'm in all your kitchens, Captain Cold. There we go.
Hey!
I have said I want him to run against Oliver for mayor. You know, do the Citizen Cold storyline. That would be the best thing ever. But yeah, I know Lydia said this today, and Stormy Woods had said this before, that just calling Susan Isabel 2.0. Let's face it. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I always forget about
we
her
were
too.
introduced to her.
I love Summer Glau, but that was not great.
We were introduced to Susan, as a very manipulative human being. And we're not going to forget that anytime soon.
But to be fair, it is also her job to get dirt on him. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So it's
But she didn't have to, like she wrecked Thea on purpose. That episode. Let's be real. That wasn't just, it wasn't just for my job. It was, no, you lied to her face and then you continued to do the thing.
That's right. There was that.
Yeah.
There was that. That aside, I understand the rest of it, and I buy it could go either way, but I have no idea.
Okay, do we have any final thoughts on the episode?
Final thoughts?
Overall, I enjoyed this weird casserole of moments. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. Ultimately, again, like what felt like weird tonal shifts within scenes, like multiple times within scenes, which had me going a little bit like, what is happening? But overall, I had a lot of fun with it, like I always do. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of really interesting fight scenes, a lot of cool character development. I think if I did not know that the DA was Vigilante, I'd be more intimidated, but I really like the character.
I do too.
Yeah. I like that guy.
Adrian Chase has not had a ton to do so far as Adrian Chase, but whenever he shows up, I'm like, hey, it's a good dude.
Yeah. He's also very dreamy. It's
Yes.
really weird.
He's quite handsome.
They were doing the framing when he was intimidating. He's just like, "Hey, what's up, girl?"
If you want to see all of him, watch Trainwreck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No, great movie.
So it should be interesting. We are looking at a 4-way crossover next season. 2 weeks from now.
You guys.
I had some dirty thoughts.
Hey, no, I didn't just go there. I live there. Anyway, if chat has any final thoughts or anything they want us to touch on, now is a good time to start talking about that because I know we have like a minute and a half delay. In the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about iTunes because holy cow, you guys came through in spades. We've got like 6 new reviews.
Hey.
Y'all are
Ooh.
glorious. And this is exactly how you keep this after show on the air. That is how you keep us rolling. You go onto iTunes, you subscribe to the Arrow AfterBuzz TV after show, you rate us 5 stars or whatever you really think. But let's be real, we really want you to rate us 5 stars because we love you and we know you love us.
Yeah.
Yes.
A, and you leave a review talking about why you like the show, why you listen to the show. Because then our producers get on iTunes and go through the reviews and say, hey, people really like this after show and these people on it. We should keep them. And then we get to be here week after week talking about the show and coming up with ridiculous hashtags and covers of the theme and all of the crazy stuff that we do.
Yep.
So yeah, and if you leave a review, you get a shout out on the show. And holy cow, seriously, so many of you people, you're all wonderful. So we're going to do a high-speed pass because you all deserve to be heard. We have Hey Y'all from Callie Joe 19. Hey y'all, I'm a big fan of the DC CW shows and an even bigger fan of the after shows on AfterBuzz. Y'all make my heart so freaking happy. Y'all make me laugh and have gotten me into the comics as well. Hashtag Nazi corn.
Yeah.
Bless you. 10 points to Gryffindor by River C009. Arrow is one of my favorite shows, and it was fun finding your show that talks about it. Not all of my friends are big fans of the DC TV shows. So like Lex, I am all over AfterBuzz TV shows. Keep up the great work, and remember, you are not failing this city.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty good from Hagfish's Candy. I just recently started listening to the podcast about the past 10 episodes or so. It's pretty good. The hosts are funny and entertaining. The only reason it doesn't get a 5-star is because sometimes we miss key parts of the episodes and don't talk about them. Other than that, everything's great. You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work, and I'll keep downloading. It's a 52-minute episode, and we have 50 minutes to talk about.
We talk a lot about weird stuff, you guys.
We do. It's great. Love This by Action Jackson. I've been watching Arrow since the beginning. I just started listening to the podcast this season. I wish I would have known about it sooner. Keep up the outstanding work. You know, the backlog is available on iTunes if you want to go back and listen to past jokes, hear how completely wrong we are in all of our predictions. Love This podcast by Nando61011. This podcast mixes professionalism with a conversational flow. Feels like I'm there myself. Almost subscribed to the makeup thing, but I'm a guy. So I'll support you guys by writing a great review. Keep doing what you're doing, and by the way, I am not Jay Garrick. Winky face.
So you say.
Winky face.
Yeah.
He's Jay Garrick.
Find someone in your life who likes makeup and get them a holiday present. Get them one of the boxes as a holiday present. It's helping us out, it's helping them out, and it helps you with your holiday shopping.
And
do
Oliver
the thing,
Queen.
win the stuff.
Oliver Queen probably uses some of this stuff. He's
Oh,
got
the
two,
eyeliner for days.
The eyelashes. I'm like, he's gotta use.
He's got a whole
this.
bunch of
And we
rubber faces,
have-
and he makes
And there's
them
no
all up.
shame in that, guys. It's
Yeah.
for everyone.
Last one we've got is Great Podcast by Lily Herman. I love this podcast so much, I can't put it into words. I watch Arrow with my dad, and it's always great to hear other people's opinions and insight. The hosts have great chemistry. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
We love you guys. Thank you so
And
much.
also, if you have left a review in an iTunes store that is not the American iTunes store, we kind of have trouble finding those. Please screen cap it and put it in the hashtag. We would love to see it. We'd love to give you a shout out. Same if you reviewed it on Google Music. Yes.
Okay.
What does Chad have to say?
Let's see.
Lots of
We
laughter and
actually,
good things.
there's just all sorts of peace out, awesome. Talking about how great the crossover is going to be. So everybody's just excited for that.
Love this,
Well,
this
we should talk-
affirmation.
We should talk about that for a little bit. Let's do some real quick predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Wasn't kidding about the real quick part. Go.
I predict that Prometheus is Laurel in some way, shape, or form. I'm still saying it because Katie Cassidy has that contract, just like Wentworth Miller, just like John Barman. We're going to start seeing her soon.
I predict that he's Jay Garrick.
Yeah, that just works.
I predict that, like in all the crossovers, Oliver's son is going to make a quick appearance, and he's going to start being a vigilante, and he's going to become, let's see, who's a cool
He's
character?
like 10.
Yeah. He's going to become
Robin.
Beast Boy, and then, let's see, what else is going to happen? Aliens are going to show up.
Dude,
and
aliens
then
are showing up.
And then the aliens came down.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, in 2 weeks, all 4 of these shows are crossing over, and all of these heroes are teaming up to fight aliens, and I'm going to have to literally pick my face up off the floor. That is
And
my
we
prediction.
have to film that.
I
Yeah.
believe
Great.
that requires a hospital, so please don't lose your face. And then the aliens came and killed everyone is my favorite fake spoiler for anything ever. And so I'm kind of hoping that it's not a real spoiler for this because they've all got like 20 more episodes to go in their respective seasons.
Although I
do
do
they?
have a real spoiler if we have time for it. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Talia Al Ghul is going to be tied to the flashbacks.
Interesting.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, because
From
we
TV
knew
Line,
she'd been
yeah.
cast.
Yeah, she'll be tied to the flashbacks according to TV Line.
Girl, why didn't you
makes
tell me
sense.
we had news and gossip?
I know. It was like literally a blurb. It was like literally a paragraph.
Thank you for being on it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
All right, I think that is about all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks for the giant ridiculous crossover, which hopefully we'll be doing a little crossover of our own. You'll just have to see. In the meantime, Lacretia, where can the people find you?
Since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, as well as the DC Universe. I'm with these dudes on a lot of shows, like Legends of Tomorrow or Supergirl. You might find me.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, TAURIJAY. That's on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on the DC Slate, Flash, Supergirl, this show, whatever it is. And also coming up this Sunday, we have The Librarians coming back for its 3rd season.
Sunday.
So,
I thought I'd insist.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
yes.
Yes.
Join us.
I am Lex Michael, all over social media at the Lex Michael. I too am all over DC on the CW on ABTV, Supergirl on Mondays, here on Arrow on Wednesdays, Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays, also Ash vs. Evil Dead with Lacretia on Sundays, and we also do Comic Book Exchange on Wednesdays. So many wonderful places to come nerd out with us. Please do. We love you. Mwah.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I do 8 billion shows here, but only one DC show when you're watching it. Mondays is Z Nation. Tuesdays is Star Wars Rebels. Thursdays, we alternate between Robots in Disguise and RWBY. The RWBY After Show is back this week at 7 p.m. Pacific. We also have a special interview with Lindsay at noon tomorrow. Be sure to watch that. And we're running a giveaway on all 3 of our Twitters, Megan's, Mark's, and mine. We will be announcing those results on the RWBY After Show. Retweet to enter, win. It'll be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.